Everyone, it's Desiree and I am here with Spellbinders and we are going to create our cards using the card kit of the month for February. So remember, there are some changes. I know, please, let's not go over all of the frustration again. I am a fan of this card kit and they have moved to a card kit that is considered quick and easy. You get your 8 card bases, 8 envelopes, your 4 pieces of 5 colors of cardstock, your pattern paper, which is 6 by 6, and instead of getting 2 sheets in a paper pad, you're going to only get 1 sheet, which is really nice. Double-sided tape, your double-sided foam squares, some beautiful sequins, and also some stickers, which can be your sentiments and also part of your focal points. You're also going to get some puffy sentiments and some chipboard stickers. My favorite part, the die cuts. I am a huge fan of the die cuts. And someone said that they weren't sure if the amount of die cuts changed. I don't believe it has. I believe there is just as much. And also there is an add-on to the kit if you would like to purchase separately. And it is the most adorable bunny sitting in a teacup. So let's get started on our cards. So I've used the pattern paper as the background, used some of the solid cardstock as a background to the pattern paper that I cut. Again, I do not measure. I know that frustrates people, but I just do not measure. I go with what I see. I do take notice of what that center panel is so that I know where to go up for my background, but I don't write them down, and usually I don't. I do not measure. There are a lot of times where I will take that piece of pattern paper that I've cut, put it down onto the solid cardstock and cut around it. Again, have fun. If you like measurements, that is wonderful. What you can do is just make sure, take note of what your center panel is that you're cutting. Whether it's 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and then just go up a certain measurement that you would want to have a frame around that. I use a lot of the floral die cuts around this and added the puffy sentiment bliss. Again, using a piece of the solid cardstock, I put a piece of pattern paper down on that, and I'm going to set that onto my card base. These are standard A2 size card bases. Which means they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And if you're making a portrait card, it will be a side folding. If you're making a landscape card, it will be a top folding. I'm using the house and again some of the die cuts with the florals to come in underneath that to cover that up. And I'm going to add one of the sentiments across the top. And we're going to add some sequins to the center of the flowers. For our next card, I've taken 2 pieces of pattern paper. One's cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and the other one I cut the same, but then cut it on an angle so that it's going to sit on top of that pattern paper. I'm going to take the lemons, place that in the center as well, and then just collage around it, adding more lemons, and I'm going to use the double-sided foam squares for this. And I'm going to prop that right at the bottom. I'm going to add a sentiment from our stickers. And we're going to use 2, one at the top and one at the bottom. For our next card, kind of did the same thing, cut the background to be 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut a strip to go along the bottom. I'm going to get this attached to our standard A2 size card base and then just play around with our collaging, just adding our pieces where they are. I usually always I'm a fan of collaging. If you're new here, I absolutely love collaging, and I think that's why I truly am gravitating to this card kit. If you've seen my videos previously to their changes, which again, let's be nice, I did collage. I rarely used the stamp set. I rarely used the die. I really liked the die cuts and the collaging and the images that you could create on your own, because no 2 people will create the same, even if they try. there will be something that's different. So I do like that look. Just collaging alone will add texture and dimension to your cards. You don't always have to use foam squares to build up dimension in your cards. Remember, sometimes when you add dimension to your cards, you are adding postage as well. Yes, I add a lot of dimension to my cards. I'm using one of the sticker blocks. That'll have my sentiment, and then I'm going to prop up my floral centerpiece that's going to go off the corner of that sticker that I've placed on to my panel. I'm going to add again some of the sequins. These sequins are going to be great if you make a St. Patty's Day card. Yes. For our next card, again, just creating panels using our pattern paper, putting this onto the standard A2 size card base, and then just creating our focal point. And that's what you're doing when you're collaging. You're creating, at least for these cards, you're creating your focal point. So you don't have to have one that's stamped. You can have all of these different elements that are going to make up your focal point for your card. With these collages, you can make them anything. Meaning you can make them a birthday card, you can make them a celebration card, you can make them a Mother's Day or a Father's Day card, just simply by adding the sentiment when you're ready and when you need it. So that's what I use with these. These are great, quick cards to put together when it comes to needing that card for that occasion that just pops up. So for this card, I am focusing on the sweets. So you can see that as our collage, I have like things that are in there, like florals. That's usually one topic, or animals. And then this is sweets. So usually I do have a theme when I'm creating a collage on a card. Now I do collage when it comes to my journals as well, but that's to me, that's a different type of collaging. So there's all types of different ways. You will develop your type of collage art, and it'll be beautiful. So I turned this one, because of all the sweets, into a birthday. So let's also focus, and I'm going to show you what the die set add-on looks like for one of our cards. I took 2 pieces of the pattern paper, cut it to be 4 by 5 1/4, and then cut it in half, so at 2 inches. Then I'm going to take a piece of the solid cardstock and create a mat on top. I've taken care of all of my die cutting already, and I'm going to start layering my piece. I think this is just so adorable. Going to place then the handle on the back side. And you can see I struggle with that. Okay, there we go. So then all of these other pieces will just sit on top of, like, I'm going to add his second ear. Place him in the back. We're going to place his little paw. Again, putting a little bit of glue in the front because it's going to get attached to the back of the cup. For the pinwheel, I cut the same color twice, and I'm just going to stagger these on top of each other. Again, this will just give that some dimension. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue in the back and attach the leaves. Get that set in place so that I don't forget. And then we're going to fill in the cheeks, the nose, and I used the pink for that. All the cardstock colors that I did use for this piece did come from the kit. I'm going to add the circle center to the pinwheel, and now I'm going to place down my little bunny in the teacup and making it look like the flower is coming out of his hand. I'm going to add a little bit of shadow so that it doesn't look like it's floating there. And then I'm going to add some sequins just for some sparkle. And there you go. So there are our 8 cards featuring the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for February, and it is called Spring Delight. I think these will be great cards for your collection. As always, I will have listed down below the card kit of the month, the club kit, and also to the other club kits as well. They have so many out, and they've come out with some new kits of the month as well, and they are gorgeous. So stay tuned, but if you want to check them out, they're down there. I'll also leave a blog to their shop and also the gallery so that you can be inspired by even more projects made from the Inspiration team. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, but always remember what's most important for me. Always, guys, be creative and enjoy your art, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then, take care.